Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Well, we had a big day today. Mr. T made it down to Georgia. I got a thumbnail I'm going to put up. Fanny's down in Georgia, looking for some rights to steal. So anyway, everybody watched the interview with Tucker last night, and then checked out the debate reports. And it's been a busy couple of days, hasn't it? Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Nikki, how you? Roberto, haha. Ingrid, Tennessee. We got Sherry. How you doing, Sherry? Well, where to start? Well, I'll tell you where to start with the Tucker interview. I think there were a lot of things said, a lot of things dropped, about as much as could be dropped. You know, with many of you were with me last night when we watched it on Nikki B's program, and we'll go over some of that. Let me see. Well, boy, we got a lot of people rolling in. Hi, Sherry, Miss Mindersu, Leisha, Marla, how you doing? Scott Cars, how you? Welcome aboard. Hi, Mary. How you? Georgia, parts unknown. Damon, Henri, hey, I got thumbs up. Henri always gives me a thumbs up. Hi, Joan, Angel. Yeah, thumbs up helps the video get around. Don't keep me all to yourself. Hi, Randy. Hi, Wild West. Doug. Nice to see you all. Hi, Sharon. Marilyn, Jax, how you doing, Jax? So anyway, I put up a picture of Mr. T, his mugshot next to Rudy Giuliani's mugshot, and said, straight out in New York. And under that, I said, these boys don't play. Because if you take a look at their faces, you know, they mean business. And, you know, hey, this is history. This is going to be looked at for, hey, just like the American Revolution, up until Michelle Obama started getting involved with the school system. Up until that point, over 200 years, we all saw pictures of George Washington. We all saw pictures of Benjamin Franklin. Hey, so why not now? Now, I don't know what they show. You know, that admiral that thinks they're a female, I guess, is what they show the kids. I don't know. But anyway, so we got these pictures, and I know there was an attempt. I figured out that first one they put out where the tie was different. You know what they did? You know what they did, Nikki? How they did that picture? I'll tell you how they did that picture. That's the first one they put out where Trump's tie was different. Let's see if anybody gets how they did it. Hi, MS Motorsports. How you doing? Miss Mendersu, how you? Hi, Judy. Yeah, Diane, the one with the striped tie was the first one they put out. Somebody trying to get clicks. Let's see if anybody gets how they did it. What kind of trick they pulled just to get clicks. But it was close. It was close to the real picture. Let's see if anybody gets it. I know it's about a 10-second lag. Yeah, they photoshopped it, but how'd they do it? If you look on my community page on Utizzle, you will see how they did it. It was CNN that put out the one with the striped tie, Miss Mindersu? No, I don't know who put it out, but what they did was they took a picture of Mr. Trump and they superimposed his face over top of Rudy's mugshot because Rudy's wearing the same tie. Look up my community page. You'll see their pictures side by side. Trump with the real one with the red tie and next to him I put Rudy, and they both got that look on their face like they're getting ready to kick somebody's backside up to their shoulders. And Rudy's got the same striped tie, so that's how they did it. Well, they got a feature there where you can hit your drop down on your phone and on YouTube, and the video will still play, and you can go to community and it won't drop you off the video. You hit the button like you're checking how many apps you got open in your screen. You know how you open up multiple apps at one time on your phone, and you just hit that button, and instead of the video going to sleep in the tuck away section, it actually minimizes and keeps playing. No, you really don't have to do that. You just drop the video down and go to my community page. I don't know. But anyway, that's how they did it. The dirty little rascals. That's right, Miss Bender Sue. That's right. Because each phone is different. I'm not sure how they do it. George, you're having trouble seeing? Oh, well, I'm doing a talkie tonight. I hope you feel better. Hi, Wake and Trillium. Rudy has the same tie they put on that fake photograph, Nikki. That's the same picture. I'm almost positive. I checked it. Of course, I got a crooked eye anyway. What do I know? I wear two glasses at one time sometimes. Two pairs. Ha 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 ha. You're quite welcome, Georgia. No, Awake and Trillium. What they did was you just have to look at the different pictures. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, no problem. But they did try to put phony one up there, and then they put a funny one up there where I put that. I guess I'll put that on my True Social also. So anyway, Trump walked in there like a boss, and he left like a boss. And he took his picture like a boss. You know why? Because he is a boss. And the quicker these boneheads figure it out, the better. And for those of you who watched the program last night on Nikki's, I said that they're going to be ready when Trump tells them to be ready. I was talking about the judge, the sheriff, all of them. He'll show up when he shows up, and they're the ones that are going to have to be ready. Didn't I say that last night? And guess what? He shows up at 7:30 at night. So that judge, he wants to play around. Well, get up when you finish dinner, get your backside back to the courthouse, and you better have it ready. Because one thing, I didn't agree with Gino that Trump should have not paid bail, go to jail, and we vote for a political prisoner. That's a little too far, but he is right. Excuse me, I'll have a sip of my coffee. That the Secret Service has sole authority to make secure areas, and so I'm sure they told him at that courthouse and at that sheriff's office how it was going to be. Trump wasn't going to sit around there for hours waiting for them to do whatever they got to do. I'm sure they got a time we're going to be there and a time we're going to leave for security purposes. And you all better have all your you-know-what in one bucket when we get there. And that's exactly what happened. That's what I said was going to happen. Cameraman. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for helping support the show. I appreciate it. He was in the jail for 17 minutes. That's right. And they had a real weak contingent out there trying to counter protest or whatever, but they couldn't get anywhere. I mean, most of the day, and it grew and grew. They had a group there called Blacks for Trump, One guy had a shirt on, I won't repeat what it said, but it would have had a different word beside black for Trump. And they weren't fooling around. I mean, they weren't putting up with no guff from nobody. It's like Trump said during his interview with Tucker Carlson, the people get it. The people see what's going on. And that's one thing that Scavino replayed, was where Trump said that. The people get it. And the other thing Scavino replayed was he was talking about Biden, frail, how frail he was. Trump said he had legs like toothpicks. And he couldn't pick up a beach chair. He could barely string sentences together, can't walk or talk. Let's see. I'm just checking the chats. Yeah, it is hilarious. So let's see. Quilt, how you doing? Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? So, I watched, and I got a clip of it next time I do a picture show. I watched a guy who was giving an interview, and he was wearing a green suit. And I know what, I don't want to get myself in trouble. Keep talking about this, but he had a pretty noticeable green suit with, of all things, an orange tie. And I should have watched the video before I went live, but he pretty much recapped it this way. This whole thing about federal supremacy and the state's ability to prosecute or arrest or do any charge anything with a federal officer, especially the President of the United States, was settled for sure during Nixon's time. But before that, that was pretty much the states don't have any standing to go around and chase after federal officials. Federal supremacy. You can't have these little podunk prosecutors from whatever county and whatever state. Somebody's got their rear end up on their shoulders and wants to go after the president. So that's the thing that's got my antennas up, that this is being allowed to proceed. One, because not enough people are awake to put the handcuffs on people that belong in handcuffs. And two, that it's an educational thing. And I'll add one more, number three, to draw out as many of these Marxists as we can. So, but the case was Nixon versus Fitzgerald. And the ruling there was that states cannot go after federal officers for anything they do while they're serving in the federal government, especially the President of the United States. So this is going to go south. But Mark Meadows tried to use that to not show up, but they put his mugshot out earlier today, Mark Meadows. A lot of people were thinking that he was not going to show up, and that Fani Willis said if he doesn't show up tomorrow, Friday, at noon, she would issue a warrant for his arrest at 12:30. So she was talking all tough and big. And so Mark Meadows went on down there and got it done. But I think there's going to be a hearing on Monday, which, at least for Meadows, may move him to the federal court. But I don't believe there's something like that for the remaining defendants in Trump's trial. Because why? they're opening the door for the evidence to be all laid out. Remember that report Trump was going to let out early this week, Monday of this week. And he decided instead of doing that, he was going to put it out in court filings. So the notion there was, I think, was to put out the report, irrefutable evidence of what went wrong, and then file a motion to have the thing in Georgia quashed. But due to the lack of accurate reporting or fair reporting or balanced reporting, the message wouldn't have got through by the media. I watched a short clip of this woman. What was her name? You see her on CNN all the time. She's a wicked witch. Nicole Wallace. She said, disgraced President Donald J. Trump is leaving Bedminster to report to be arrested for criminal acts committed, blah, 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 blah. The jail he's going to is filthy and dangerous, and 3 people have been killed in that jail in the past month, and this is what he is going to have to face. This disgraced president, 4 times indicted. I mean, what a lopsided bag of crap. But okay, well, let's play your little game. Let's drag it all out. We've got, as I feel, evidence that the Truth and Reconciliation Act is being implemented right now. They're being made to put out stuff like the polls I showed you in my last picture show. And I put those pictures of Rudy and Trump side by side because I think they're consciously making a point to both have the same expression on their face. The expression that says, I am going to kick your butt. I am angry and you got something coming. That's for Fannie, for the judges, Jack Smith, all of them. It's called the evil eye. When you pop one eyebrow up and keep one eyebrow down, you give them the evil eye. And that's what's, I believe, getting ready to happen. So Matt Gaetz, though, he's put out his thoughts on the matter about giving Trump immunity. Now, that's, I think, being put out there to cover all the bases where even if they drop cases against Trump or say that a higher court steps in and says, no, these charges can't be heard. Well, then the baddies can say, oh, they pulled some trick with bought off Clarence Thomas and Trump got away again. We want to prosecute him, but we can't. So Gaetz is like, oh, one way or the other, the evidence is going to get out, whether it's sitting in Congress or it's in a courtroom. And I had a TikTok video my plumber Intel sent me. I couldn't get it to record worth a hoot, but what the lady was putting up was she took a screenshot of a tweet Mr. T did back in October of 2020. Let me see if I can pull that up. And she said, this is why it's so important to use to do screenshots. And of course, people are fired up, so she was using some pretty colorful language, which I'm not crazy about anyway. But let me see if I can find that. And Paul Sperry had a response to it where he had said, oh, here it is. Where he said he fully declassified And they're saying, well, Mark Meadows says he doesn't have any recollection of whether Trump declassified stuff. Well, here's a tweet. Donald J. Trump on Twitter, old Twitter. I have fully authorized a total declassification of any and all documents pertaining to the single greatest political crime in American history, the Russia hoax. Likewise, the Hillary Clinton email scandal. No redactions. So he declassified all that. And let me get that date. October 6, 2020. Then Paul Sperry responded to him. Or maybe it was Trump responding to Paul Sperry, but let me read what Paul Sperry said. It's on the same thread. When all the documents are finally declassified and all the redactions removed from reports, the nation will see that the FBI and CIA not only knew that Russia, quote, collusion allegations against Trump were a dirty trick, but that they were in on the trick. So, as most of us in the know, the reason they went to Mar-a-Lago and the reason they went through the documents and seized the documents is because they don't want the documents to be released. And it could be about God knows what. It could be about the Iran deal. It could be about Uranium One. It could be about just what I read Mr. T said. Russia collusion and the three-letter agencies playing along. There's so much stuff that he has declassified, and they're going after it. You know, I tell you one thing I remembered all of a sudden out of the blue. I was going to talk about it the other night. You remember when I read a post, Trump was putting up his truths, and then just out of the blue, he sprinkled something in there about golf clubs from Shinzo Abe, a golf club that the National Archives wanted. And I never heard anything about it that was a controversy, but Trump put a tweet out and said, I gave him back the golf club from that Shinzo Abe gave me. I've got plenty of golf clubs here at Mar-a-Lago. Well, something came up where somebody showed me a picture of Melania in a dress with orange in the dress. And I'll put that picture up next picture show. She's walking around and she's got these orange designs on her dress that are the same kind of designs you see how a soccer ball is made. And I know that, you know, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think when Trump was talking about they went through Melania's closet and her dresser drawers and everything like that, wouldn't it be funny if they were looking for that soccer ball? Because Trump did toss it to Melania right away. I mean, he was up at the podium and he was talking with Putin, gave it to him. And he said, oh, good, I'll give this to Melania. And he pitched it out there and she caught it. You know, they're wondering what's going on with that. So I just thought it was strange that he would put out that about the golf clubs when nobody had never ever mentioned anything about it, that he needed to turn them over or that was even an issue. And then I thought, they're not only looking for papers and whatever, but they want golf clubs. They want the soccer ball too. Well, guess what? That's Melania's. And about a day later, an article came out about how Melania said, look, I'm living my life with my son. I don't want to be bothered with this stuff. I don't want to be pestered and things like that. And she's telling him to go stick it. You know, I don't know what the rules are for the first lady, what the National Archives has got any kind of authority over the first lady, because it's her soccer ball, damn it. So I don't know. It's very interesting and funny to watch, because that soccer ball was definitely a centerpiece of that Minsk meeting. So anyway, Gates, he got interviewed after the debates, and he said that the main thing that came out of that debates was he called it a death rattle for Krispy Kreme's candidacy. So it was interesting. Leading up to the Trump's arrest, I was looking around to see what other news agencies were, how they were trying to spin the Republican debates. Then I saw where Trump put up that it had gotten, him and Tucker had gotten over 200 million views. Of course, we all know that doesn't mean 200 million people watched the whole thing, but it's still a mind-boggling number. And I think about an hour ago, I saw it was at 231 million. So, and Fox News was around 29 million, maybe somewhere around there. So it's on track to get 10 times the views, as Mr. T said, using this silly little platform. That's what he called Twitter, a silly little platform. So anyway, let me see what I haven't even checked. Let me check the chats. Oh, Trump's donations skyrocketed. Good. Hi, Love the Garden. How are you? Let's see. Yeah, Wild West. Trump all but said that last night on Tucker Carlson's show. He said Biden's not running the show. I don't think he came out and said it was Obama, but I believe it's Obama, and so does, I think Trump believes that too. But the real key is who's pulling Obama's strings, okay? Hi, Ivan, how you doing? Yeah. The real thing is who's pulling Obama's strings. So Trump did say Biden was compromised and made no bones about it. He made no bones about the election being stolen. He did that again at the airport today as he was getting ready to depart, reiterating that without a doubt the election was stolen. And he said last night that Biden is a Manchurian candidate installed by China or controlled by China, and that he gets money from Penn State. He said $999,000 or 10% of whatever the Chinese give to Penn State. So, he's not going to say stuff like that if he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And he already said China's going to drop a dime on Biden, and his administration will not be able to survive what the Chinese are going to disclose. Now they could disclose it through another party or cause it to be disclosed, or they could have a press conference like they've been having. They've been having press conferences about the activities of these LABS, okay? And the gain of function, pointing the finger, along with Russia. You got Russia and China pointing the finger straight at the U.S. government and the intelligence agencies for delving into research concerning a lot of things like mosquitoes, how birds migrate, but mainly things you catch from another person when they cough or things like that they are altering them and weaponizing them. So we'll see how that goes. More and more of that's going to be coming out. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? CJ, 1975. How are you doing? Ivana. Yeah, that's right. 67 plus labs. And this Prigozhin thing, Prigozhin I don't know, folks. What do you think? You think he's been smuggled off somewhere safe, or because I posted on my community page, Ivana, you made me think of that because you commented on it. There was a report supposedly that Przhogan's wife said he was not on the plane and that he is okay. But I did see Putin give a speech, and he said things like, that Przhogan made some mistakes in his life, and he gave condolences for the people that perished in the plane crash. But I mean, if I look at it and parse it real close, it didn't sound to me like he was giving condolences to. I didn't see where he said anything to his wife. So they're real slick about stuff like that. Whether or not he was really on that plane, Ivana says still alive. Oh, Nikki, you got storms up your way. Hi, Dottie. How are you doing? Yeah, he's in hiding, Dottie says. It's hard to say. Tennessee said, I think he's safe. He didn't get where he's at to be taken down like that. But when you're that meme, I don't know if I played it all. I didn't get to play it. Yes, I did a long time ago. It was right when they were marching, when Wagner was marching, supposedly marching on Moscow, and then they made that left hook up into Belarus, and ended up outflanking the whole Ukrainian army right above Kharkiv. And the meme was from Braveheart, where the two armies in the field, barbarians and the king's army, come running, screaming, yell at each other, and they all come to stop and start laughing and shaking hands. And the king had the CIA across his chest, and his vassal was Zelensky, looking at each other all confused. So the thought back then, when all this was happening, and I discussed it too, the $4 billion that was found at Przhogan's office while he was going on a march to Moscow was seized by the Russians, that the CIA got screwed out of big money. And Biden's comment was, it doesn't surprise me, that he's acting like if anything happened to Przhogan, it's because Putin. It doesn't surprise me. Putin's so evil. Yeah, well, we know if anybody wanted Przhogan out of here, it would have been CIA quicker than Putin. So anyway, time will tell. I think it's overall not going to have any kind of impact on what's going to happen. What's going to happen, I think, because the big question is now, a lot of people are saying, when's something going to happen? We've been saying that for 2 years, especially. We've been saying it way before this too, but extra strong for 2 years. When's something going to happen? When's something going to happen? Well, I do know that Mr. T warned us that the gas prices are going to go way high. Mr. T warned us that we're going to have a scare or an actual World War III. Those things haven't happened. Okay. This introduction to tyranny that we're seeing, that is what we're seeing. We're getting an introduction to tyranny is just now starting to unfold. And you are just now starting to see people waking up that even 6 months ago were asleep, 3 months ago were asleep. All the other times Trump's been in trouble, you didn't see large groups like blacks for Trump and blacks against the BLM crowd like they were today. There were a couple of troublemakers. I was afraid of somebody. It doesn't take a lot, 20 people maybe to switch out their hats and clothes and cause trouble. But they were wise to it. Everybody was wise to it today. And they were very outnumbered. And they had a heavy police presence, and they weren't out there with just billy clubs. They were out there with shotguns and rifles, and it was a lot of cops. Did you all see that? And I think that was because one reason, on top of a couple, several, but one reason is I think they were told by the Secret Service, like I said, what time he's coming, what time he's leaving. You better have all your crap in one bucket when we get there, and nobody lays a hand on Mr. T, and that crowd better be under control. I mean, the Secret Service got a lot of power. If they have to protect the president, if they find themselves in a situation where they have to secure a location, nobody overrides the Secret Service when it comes to the president's well-being. So, what do you all think? Does that make sense to you all? Now, China is taking out the CYA all over China, yeah. The dude, how you doing? Plug me in the what? And I'm trying to get what you said. I'm trying to pick up what you're throwing down. So anyway, just scanning through. Hi, Phil. How you doing? I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. So anyway, I think we've got, I know people don't like hearing it, but we got a long way to go. But this is exciting. This is not frustrating. This is not, would you rather have us had done something brutal, kinetic, mass arrest, and a large segment of the population totally confused, or worse yet, thinking Trump was acting in a criminal way? Wouldn't you rather have most of the people agreeing, yeah, those characters need to be arrested, instead of, oh my God, what's happening? Our democracy has failed. A crazy billionaire has taken over our government. No, we don't want that. We want people to say what's happening needs to happen. Like I was saying, they need to feel the hard hand of war. And they're starting to see it. They're starting to feel it when they get told, give up your spare bedroom for these people that are coming across the border. Never mind how many kids you got, or whether these people have done anything. We don't know. We don't know what their criminal history is. We don't know nothing. But we're telling you, for you to rise and step up and do the right thing, give your spare bedroom over to these people, these strangers. That is a smack in the face. That's getting red pilled. That's coming home to roost. Like I said many times in the past, people don't care till their ox is getting gored, or it's being threatened to be gored. So a lot of people are waking up, and I'd rather, to me, it's exciting. I mean, that crowd that was down there today for Mr. T in front of Georgia was a breath of fresh air. And they're getting frustrated just like we are. People who 6 months ago wouldn't have gave a rip about what happened to Donald Trump are starting to see it. Wait a second, I got some notices up here. Mary, thank you so much, Mary, and Love to Garden for sponsoring tonight's show, helping to sponsor tonight's show. I appreciate it. This is a viewer-supported and creator-supported channel only. I've got a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee if anybody wants to help the channel out. And I thank Love to Garden and Mary Freeland. Thank you so much. Give me a couple of booms for Love to Garden and Mary. Yeah, the dude. Hey, the dude. How you doing? Well, three emoji limit. Appreciate it. Keeps the algorithm from coming after me. So, and I'll tell you something else, y'all. Make a note of it. Don't drop out of the video. You can check it out later. I've talked about him in the past. Steve Lehto, Lehto, Leto. He's an attorney, and he's done some stuff with Jay Leno about cars and things. But he does all the time. He does controversial legal stories or entertaining legal stories. And he was talking about how this local police station went and raided a local newspaper because the mayor and the police chief there was some kind of shenanigans going on where somebody was driving for 10 years without a license and nobody bothered them because they were on quote official, and other shenanigans going on in this little podunk town. And they raided the newspaper, and they went in this woman's house who's a co-owner of the newspaper. She's the mother of the main editor of the newspaper. She was 98 years old, and their body cams showed her in her home, and with a walker, and she's got like 5 or 6 cops rummaging through her house, and she called them a-holes. She told them to get the hell out of her house and every other thing. 98. And she still wrote for the paper once a week and was co-owner for the newspaper. Well, the whole search warrant thing got pulled back and trashed by a higher court as illegal. They had to return all the stuff, and those people are some deep, deep poop. But the terrible thing about it is this woman, she's as spry as can be, and stand her ground, tell them to get the hell out. Now, if it had been somebody younger, that she might have got hurt. You know how a small percentage of bad apples, we've gone over that enough times. But thank God she didn't get hurt. She didn't get tased or worse. But, she was telling her son how it really broke her heart to be treated in such a shoddy fashion with no respect, like her life's work meant nothing to these people, that she didn't feel that anyone cared, and that the crooks are running the show. And the next morning she got up and in the middle of a sentence sitting at the kitchen table, she passed away. The day after they raided her home. Oh, it's awful. But you talk about abuse. And it is a stressful thing. Without the backing of the U.S. military, what Mr. T is going through today and what Rudy Giuliani is going through and everything, it would be this. They are truly doing a service. All of them are. Sidney Powell, all of them, Mark Meadows, every one of them that's going through this hell. I'm sure they were given a talk. You're going to go through hell. You're going to be threatened. You're going to be attacked, you're going to have to spend money, and there you have it. Just like General Flynn, they're doing this country a service because they're exposing the abuses. And I'll tell you how things would have been, folks, if she had won. The pump was primed. Obama had already had in place with John Kerry a UN resolution that would have condemned ownership of GUNs, right? The First Amendment. They already had that in place. We know they had plans for the thing in your shoulder. We know that was going on. And they already had multiple judges, plus Supreme Court judges, criticize and trash the Constitution. They had the entire media trashing the Electoral College system. The entire media down on white patriarchy, namely the founding fathers. So if Trump hadn't won, you know where we'd be right now? I'll tell you what their game plan would have been. Just what Mr. T said is coming up. WAR, okay? WAR with the N-word involved. That probably would, that scare or that actual event probably would have already happened by now during her first term, or we'd be very close to it at this time. Something would have happened. And the consensus would have been for peace, so we don't have another BOMB go off or another some kind of tragic event, to prevent WAR, okay, to prevent war. We're going to be with the global community, okay? Be with the global community about that thing John Kerry and Obama had at the UN about our First Amendment. We're going to sign an agreement altering the Constitution. Listen, think I'm crazy? Look how many people gave up their rights at the snap of a finger over basically a really bad case of the flu. A nasty case. If you're overweight, old, yeah, it's way worse than the regular flu. But for healthy people and children especially, well, they look how much of the population was ready to give up all their rights and demand you give up all your rights. What happened during Trump's administration? Imagine what it would have been like if there was a mushroom cloud over some city. Then they put on the demands to give up the Constitution, to give up this right, that right. How many people would have fell for it? You think of how many TikTok videos you saw of people sitting at home with a glass of wine at high noon, yelling out their window at people who didn't have their faces covered up, judging others. Seeing some guy walk up the street that didn't have a mask getting screamed at by people in their car wearing masks. Put your mask on. That was over a bad virus. Imagine what they would have done if there was the fear of losing a war or something going off in the city. So I think that's what the Patriots have been trying to get a handle on, namely what Trump had talked about. His uncle, who met Tesla, was friends with Tesla, told his uncle, and I heard Trump say this. I'm not getting this off some other website or anything. I heard Trump in an interview saying, he said, I'll never forget my uncle was talking about what he was really afraid of was they would get a nuclear bomb in a suitcase or something transportable. He said that is something that I'll never forget was a threat. So do we have that? Do we have that? Is that something the Patriots have been trying to get a handle on before we do anything? So, yeah, but even as important and probably more important is to let people know why the hammer's going to be dropped. And it's going to be dropped, folks. Well, that's right, George. It's like standing next to an aircraft carrier. You just can't see the entirety of it. And it's like, yeah, you're on a big boat and you turn that rudder, okay? You spin that wheel to turn a big vessel. It takes time for that ship to start turning. People going, turn, turn, turn. Well, it just ain't that easy. Thank you, Georgia, for putting the bombs in there. Booms. Nikki put the booms in. Cameraman, I put the booms in. I'm behind on the chats. Yeah, Ivana's watches Leto. So, and he talks about how if you got cash in your pocket, watch out. Depending on where you are, they'll take it right from you, whether you're doing nothing wrong or not. All kinds of interesting stories. So I'm just going through, looking through. Hi, Cheryl. Your family doesn't believe you. Well, they're going to be. Don't you think so, Cheryl? They're starting to think something's a little weird here. Weird that all this stuff happens in Maui, and boom, there's Oprah rubbing her hands together and looking at other people's land. Why'd they keep those people in there and wouldn't let them out? Why didn't they cut the power off when they knew high winds were coming or actually there? How come they didn't have water? I mean, that's a good place to start. You're welcome, DeCat. Thank you. It is an exciting time to be alive. I mean, it's biblical. It is going to be in the history books forever, and we're all part of it. My videos are not getting sent up to Bumble all the time. I'm going to show you pictures of what ones they're taking out. They didn't forward up there. You know what one of the ones they didn't put up there was? Where I mentioned the Brunson case in my title. And I had a picture on the thumbnail of Trump winking. Do you all remember that? I did that about 5-6 nights ago. They never uploaded it. Was that an accident? I was saying, out of the blue, during one of Trump's truth storms, he plops in there a video from Lloyd Brunson about his Supreme Court case, him and his brother. And I talked about that at length, and that video never got sent up to YouTube to Bumble, along with another one. So I'll get those titles and I might have to manually upload them, which will put me out of action for a day. But hi, Gary. You can't. Oh, don't try to read the chats on the road. You can always watch them later at your leisure. Ha ha ha. That's right. God gives you everything you need. MS Motorsports. Everything that we've been told when we were kids. Wash your hands. Hi, Araceli. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm not putting on none of that stuff either, Tennessee. We can be nice about it, but it's just like, sorry, we're not going to do it. I put up a meme. Many of you who were with me from the old channel will remember this. I have a meme. It's a cartoon meme. How you treat people who are still wearing masks. And it shows two guys in the background pointing and laughing. And this guy got a mask on, got his hand on his forehead, looking all stupid. And his friends are pointing and laughing at him. Now, I put that meme up last year. Now I'm seeing other creators are putting it up. I'm like, man, I was way ahead on that one. Yeah, Karen said hit the like button. Yay. Look under the house for kids. Well, in Hawaii, Henri, I don't know. It's been 2 weeks. There's nobody missing in Hawaii, if that's what you're talking about. Anybody that's been stuck in that area. All right. Hey, Dare, you go promote your channel somewhere else. I got somebody going to take care of you in a minute. Hey, Dare, go promote your channel somewhere else. Nikki's going to start building an ark. So anyway, oops. Wait a second, I'm hitting buttons here. Don't want to knock myself off. Trump tweeted on Twitter, outlandish. Are you sure it's not like that fake mugshot? Somebody putting up a fake tweet. Outlandish, let us know something. What'd he say if he tweeted it? I'm looking for an answer. TJ Katz, how you doing? You looked. Oh, Mr. T is on there, Araceli says. Well, don't you know I'm right at my hour? So do we want to, I guess we'll go watch that. Maybe it's the big My Fellow Americans. All right, guys, if this is a false alarm, I'm going to be mad, but I'll probably be live tomorrow night. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Mr. T's live. I'm at my hour. And he tweeted his mugshot. Did he truth it or tweet it? Outlandish. He said, never surrender. TJ said he posted his mugshot on Truth or Twitter. It was on Newsmax. It's on X. Oh, that's right. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X, outlandish. Oh, I'll be darned. Well, let's check it out, I guess. I'm planning on going up tomorrow night, folks. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I thank you all for spending your precious time with me. Hi, Christopher. And I hope to be seeing you all soon. We'll talk about some more fun and exciting things as we all walk through history together. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.